What do we want to achieve? We wanted to replace a very old conservatory which was falling down of its own accord, but with something bigger, more impressive, something we were going to use every day and for all sorts of different purposes, and that's exactly what we've got. So it was to tie the house into the garden, and this side of the house, that's where the bulk of the garden is, and the swimming pool and everything that we want to use during the summer. So it was the part of the house that was going to be the go-between between everything else, the kitchen, etc., and the outdoors, but also something we could use for the rest of the year.
Why should I thank you for giving me something to lose?
Communication was more sophisticated than we had experienced with any building projects we'd done before. This was more extensive than other projects we'd done on previous houses. But it was genuinely very different in a good way. So it was much more thorough than we expected, and there was someone always on tap. So, for example, we would have regular dialogue with Simon in particular, a lot of it on email or text or just via phone calls. So that was much more prolific and much more polished, I guess, than we had expected for a job of this size. So that was actually very impressive. There was quite a big difference between what Step 3 did for us, the whole team did, and our experiences with our other builders. You could summarise it really by saying the degree of professionalism that we got from what is still relatively a small business was quite far removed from what we've experienced before. It's fair to say our expectations were high. We wanted a really top quality product. We jointly with Step 3 thought very carefully about everything that would happen, the choice of all the materials, exactly the way it was going to be done, what it was going to look like, and often we took quite a lot of time between us to work that out in advance. And my wife Sue and I have often discussed that we can't really see anything that we'd have done differently if we'd have done it again. So we're really pleased with that, as you can imagine. It would be a great shame to regret something that had been done too rushed or hadn't been thought about. And that's a balance between the customer and the provider, Step 3, and I think that's worked really well. We've also been impressed that whenever we thought something might be a concern, we discussed it. Usually we found that the team were already on it, which is very reassuring to know. So we've got used to that throughout the whole project. And that, frankly, it's difficult to see how that could have been improved.
I don't wanna talk, 'cause nothing will change.
Yes, we would use you again, which we're already talking about whether there's some other things that we can do on the house here. And we've already recommended you to someone else. Who knows where that's going to lead to, but absolutely we would recommend Step 3 without a shadow of a doubt.
I don't wanna talk, 'cause nothing